update is confirmed to be coming to Splatoon 3. This will be version 9.3.0, which will be releasing on March the 12th, 2025. So I'm going to give you a full rundown of all the changes that you need to know about. Let's jump straight into this. First of all, we have some changes to multiplayer. Specifications for some main weapons have changed. Splooshomatic, Neo-Splooshomatic increased the speed of shots by approximately 3% and extended the flight distance. Splattershot Jr. and Custom Splattershot Jr. increased the speed of shots by approximately 3% and extended the flight distance. Aerospray MG and Aerospray RG increased the speed of shots by approximately 3% and extended the flight distance. NZAP 85 and NZAP 89, movement speed while firing is now about 5% faster, reduced the scatter of shots while on the ground by approximately 5%. Splattershot Nova and Anarchy Splattershot Nova reduced the scatter of shots while jumping by approximately 33%. Big Swig Roller and Big Swig Roller Express slightly expanded vertical swings collision detection with players to make it easier to hit opponents. Paintbrush and Paintbrush Nouveau shortened the interval between continuous swings by approximately 1/30th of a second. Mini Splatling and Zinc Mini Splatling reduced the time required to charge fully by approximately 1/20th of a second. With this change, the time until the first level of charge ends is also reduced by approximately 1/30th of a second. Heavy Splatling Deco, and Order Splatling Replica increased firing duration by approximately 11%, reduced the time required to charge fully by approximately 1/20th of a second. With this change, the time until the first level of charge ends is also reduced by approximately 1/30th of a second. Dapple Julies and Dapple Julies Nouveau increased the speed of shots by approximately 3% and extended the flight distance. Splat Julies and Peri-Splat Julies Order Julie Replicas slightly expanded the collision detection with players of shots fired from a normal posture to make it easier to hit opponents. There is no change to the fact that collision detection is greater for shots fired after a dodge roll. Recycled Brella 24 Mark 1 and Recycled Brella 24 Mark 2 slightly expanded the width of spray droplets created by shots, reduced the amount of ink consumed when firing a shot by approximately 14%. Snipe Rider 5H, Snipe Rider 5B slightly decreased the width of spray droplets created by shots. Mint Decavitator and Charcoal Decavitator lengthen the time required for movement to begin when lunging forward with a charge swipe by approximately 1/30th of a second, reduce the width of spray droplets created by the ink wave of horizontal splashes by approximately 12%. So a lot of changes for weapons in here. As I've mentioned in the past, I'm not the most competitive player out there, so I won't really analyze these, I'm just trying to give you the facts. But yeah, definitely a lot to discuss here, I'm sure, in the comments section, as there are so many changes within this update. I believe it is the first of 2025, unless I've somehow forgotten something, but this definitely seems like a fairly significant update in terms of balances. Specifications for some special weapons have changed. Ultra Stamp. Increase the damage dealt by the explosion at the point of impact when the stamp is thrown in the following ways. Increase the damage dealt to opponents near the center of the explosion from 60.0 to 220.0. Increase the damage dealt to opponents further from the center of explosion from 30.0 to 60.0. Triple Splashdown. Increase the radius ink by the explosion by approximately 11%. Trizooka. For the explosion at the point of impact, reduce the damage dealt to opponents further from the center of the explosion to 35.0. The damage dealt to opponents near the center remains 53.0. Shorten the duration by approximately half of a second when not equipping the special power-up gear ability. You can tell I haven't read some of these patch notes in a while, I'm getting all tripped up. The effect gained from equipping the maximum number of special power-up abilities will not change. So yes, more changes to special weapons. The Ultra Stamp has gotten some really nice improvements there, and surprisingly some for the Triple Splashdown, as well as seemingly some nerfs for the Trizooka. Points required for some special weapons have changed, so you can see all of those on the screen here. Octo Brush and Order Brush Replica, I really am getting tripped up, have gone from 200 to 190. Peri-Splat Julies from 200 to 190. Dowser Julies FF from 200 to 190. Recycled Brella 24 Mark II from 200 to 190. S-Blast 91 from 190 to 200. And Snipe Rider 5H from 210 to 220. In Bluefin Depot, move the lamp that was on the bridge in the center of the stage at the top of the elevator. Really interesting small change there. Now they have some changes to Splatfest. Terrain for Tricolor Turf Wars has changed in some stages. Eeltail Alley changed some terrain near the attacking team's spawn points. That terrain cannot be inked. It is now easier to progress forward because, along with slightly expanding the selectable area in Squid Spawn when the defending team starts, shielding objects have been added near the spawn point. Hammerhead Bridge added shielding objects to make it easier for the attackers to progress forward. Expanded the area inked by the Sprinkler of Doom. Macomart expanded the area inked by the first Sprinkler of Doom. Crableb Capital changed some terrain near the attacking team's spawn points to terrain that cannot be inked. Bluefin Depot expanded the terrain near the attacking team's spawn point. Changed some terrain near the defending team's spawn point, made it to terrain that cannot be inked. Made it easier to invade the center by expanding the great platform near the height difference connecting the area near the attacking team's spawn points to the center, and also adding an ink rail. Changed the positions of some obstacles to make it easier to go for the ultra signal. Definitely was not expecting to see these changes to Splatfest. I might do a more elaborate video on that soon. But yeah, it's definitely cool that they're still making those changes, although I really hope at some point they will let us play them in offline modes. I really need that to be a thing. Now, the outro. This update focuses on making changes to multiplayer balance. Upon analyzing the battle data since release the last update and considering weapons' relationships to the weapons for which we improved performance last time, we have slightly extended the flight distance of some shots for weapons with shorter flight distances than those we improved last time, and made changes to strengthen the traits or compensate for the weaknesses of some weapons with shot distances similar to what we previously improved. Regarding the Snipe Rifle 5H, Snipe Rifle 5B, Mint Decavitator, and Charcoal Decavitator, we made changes to slightly reduce the ability to maintain ink from a distance to give opponents wielding weapons with a shorter flight distances more time to counter. For the Trizooka, we have maintained its trait as a special weapon capable of turning the tables if used well, while simultaneously making it easier to counter by shortening the time that players on the opposing team must be wary of the Trizooka, and reducing cases where such players are defeated due to accumulated damage despite taking evasive actions. Additionally, for Tricolor Turf War, we have adjusted the arrangement of certain stages that have significant statistical leaning in the win ratio for the attacking or defending team. The next update will focus on changes to the balance of battles based on the long-term analysis of battle data. So, yeah, this was definitely a surprise update. There is a lot of important changes in here, especially to the competitive side, but those Splatfest changes are going to go a long way as well, and it definitely shows that Nintendo will still have a lot of Splatfest going forward. In fact, it pretty much confirms that we will 100% see all of these maps used again in the future at some point, as Nintendo wouldn't make these changes if they weren't playable. Like I said, I am going to do a further video on that, but I found that really interesting. So yeah, we'll get our next update at some point in the future after they've analyzed battle data for a while, but I still found this one a nice surprise. Let me know your thoughts about it down in the comment section below. If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Splat Gang so I know you did. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe and turn on notifications for more.